Hi there, I'm Em. Welcome to the Professionals Recovery Room. Last time we talked about why so many people aren't doing what fulfills them and how you don't need to quit your job to start living a more fulfilling life. Today, I want to go a little bit deeper and talk about how to actually figure out what fulfills you. One of the easiest ways to start is by asking yourself, what gives me energy and what drains me? Think about those moments when you finish something and you actually feel recharged instead of exhausted. And that's a clue for you. Can you think of a time recently when you felt more energized after an activity compared to when you started? If nothing comes to mind, here's another way in. When was the last time you lost track of time because you were so absorbed into what you were doing? Psychologists call that the flow state, and it's one of the strongest indicators of fulfillment. So, can you think of the last time you were in your flow state? Now, I know what usually happens when you do this exercise. You start thinking of all the reasons why those energizing or flow activities can't fit into your current life, or maybe you feel like they aren't practical. But let's push that aside for just a moment. So, if money and fear weren't an issue, what would you be doing? Even if it feels unrealistic right now, your answer is actually a clue about what really matters to you. So, this isn't about throwing everything out and starting fresh. It's really about noticing the direction your heart is pointing. So, go with me here. If you're driving, I want you to just think about this. But if you happen to be somewhere safe and quiet, grab a piece of paper and then write down 3 moments from the past year when you felt most alive and engaged. And I'll give you just a minute to do that, or you can pause to give yourself some additional time. Once you have those moments, look for patterns. Maybe it's being around people, maybe it's creating something, maybe helping others. When you step back, those patterns start to show you what truly fuels you. Now, you might still be a little unsure. So, there is something that I like to try called passion sampling. And that simply means experimenting with new things. So, that could be anything from volunteering, a creative project, a class, a social group. And the goal here isn't to instantly find your thing. It's really just to explore. Even if you discover something isn't for you, you've learned something valuable about yourself moving forward. Another simple tool I like to use is a weekly energy audit. So once a week, write down your top 3 most energizing activities and your top 3 most draining ones. Over time, you'll see a pattern that makes it easier to know what to lean into and then what to limit and leverage your boundaries. And maybe the problem isn't that you don't know what energizes you, but maybe you're just not making it a priority. So, one of my favorite things to do is what I call a weekly joy maker. I plan one thing each week that brings me joy and gives me something to look forward to. So I challenge you to do the same. Just plan one thing a week that fills your cup or brings you some joy. For me, it's usually a date night, maybe a hike. For you, it might be a favorite meal, maybe just even 10 minutes outside listening to the birds. Whatever it is, these small anchors can remind us that fulfillment isn't just about these big milestones, but it's really about finding those little everyday joys whenever we can. Fulfillment really is about taking the long view. It's not a single light bulb moment. It's something that you would build over time. And you layer experiences until you notice what consistently lights you up. And remember, what fulfills you today might not fulfill you a year from now. I feel like I'm a completely different person than I was in my 20s. And that's why it's so important to keep experimenting and noticing, because we change. Every single day is a chance to start again and feed into the experience of life. If yesterday drained you, today can be totally different. So just remember, pay attention to what gives you energy versus drains you. Reflect on the past year and notice your most alive moments. Try some passion sampling to explore some new directions. Possibly do a simple energy audit each week. And then add your weekly joy maker to keep yourself grounded and feeling fulfilled. Fulfillment is built step by step in small, intentional choices. You got this. Thanks for joining me today, and see you next time.